What is up, you guys? My name is Danny Sully, and the one reason why you need to start investing is so that you can be successful. You want to graduate school. Psych! School doesn't really teach you that much about money, unless it's college and you're taking that certain degree. But if you're in high school, you're really not learning much about money, and I don't really know why they don't do this, but I don't like the fact that they do that, and that's not right. So you're not really going to graduate from school learning a lot about investing. A lot of your information is probably going to come from YouTube, honestly. YouTube University is the way to go. Now, if you're new to my channel, a lot of my videos are stock market beginner videos or for stocks I'm going to start posting soon, and challenges and portfolios. But either way, I haven't talked about why it's important to invest. What is the reason to invest? Why is it so important? And the reason is you could have money saving in your account, sitting in your account, or you could have money investing in your account. If you have money sitting, you're probably not getting that big of a return, like 0.1%. You're really not getting anything. If you're investing and you can get 10% a year, that's really good. You can compound that money. That's compound interest that you get on your investment. So if you have $1,000 in your account, you make 10%, you get $100 for that year, and you didn't do anything. And my favorite historical example is the rice and chessboard. This is the story where a little peasant went up to the big king and said, let me give you this idea, this game. It's a chess game, but instead of the chess game, it's you get 1 grain of rice for the first one, and after that it doubles. So then it continuously compounds. So the king said, oh yeah, that's nothing, like that's not a lot, but it ended up doubling a lot. So it goes from 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, and it continuously went up and up. And as you can imagine, once you got to 4,000, the next thing is 8,000, then 16,000. And if it can get to that high of a number, you're compounding a lot of money, which is why people that have money in the stock market can compound and make a lot of money eventually once they're older, and that can create a lot of money in a certain period of time. Now, one key thing to throw at you is that you're not going to be able to get to that 1,000, 100,000, 1 million right away. It takes a grind. You have to put in money, you have to put in investments, you have to take the time to let it compound. You're not going to go from 1,000 to 100,000. You're not going to go from 100,000 to 1 million right away. It takes time to let it compound, but the fact is that if you can continuously invest, save up and put it into investments, every $100 matters right now, because in 20 years, it might be worth $1,000 instead of $100. It's all a factor of time, but because the peasant in that story told him that every day you need to double my rice, my grains of rice, every day, by the 7th day, it was at like 128 or whatever the number was. It was at already hundreds. And then by like the 3rd week, it was at hundreds of thousands. So if you could turn this into years for a real life scenario, that could be really good for your future, but it's not realistic to think that it's going to be days where you double your money. Doubling your money anyways in the stock market, it's not easy to do. It's actually very rare. Not many people can do it. But the reason that Warren Buffett as an investor was able to create so much money is because he was averaging 60% per year for his first 7 or 8 years investing in Geico. That is what created his money to really get a good start. And once you have that start, that money stacked up, it can create money a lot faster and a lot quicker. $100,000 in the market can make $1,000 a lot quicker than if you had $2,000 in the market. You need a 50% return with $2,000 invested, but you only need 1% of a return with $100,000 invested. So if you have a really good start or a really good amount of money saved up and you invest, you're going to make that a lot quicker than someone that can only get 4 to 6% back in the S&P 500 or other funds, for example. The 2 biggest focuses on my channel right now is, first off, to tell you to find futuristic stocks. That is the way to make a high return and beat the market. Second is to start as early as you can. If you're 15, if you're 18, however early, start as young as you can right now if you're watching the video, and if you haven't started, at least find a fund, something safe for you to at least learn the market, but it compounds and you need more time to let it compound. If you wait 4 years, you could end up losing out on tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars by the time you're 50, 60. And now if you're wondering about the thumbnail, there's a book called The Snowball Effect that Warren Buffett wrote. I'll have that in the link in the description. Either way, the snowball effect is the greatest example to correlate to the compound interest. So if you are rolling a snowball down a hill, it's obviously going to start small, but by the time you get down further and further, it's going to get bigger. So if you invest $1,000, 20 years down the road or 20 feet down the hill, it's going to eventually get bigger and bigger. So every year it's going to grow, every foot down the hill it's going to grow. That is the biggest resemblance of compound interest, and that is why it's so important to invest early, because you want to start that roll as soon as you can. You don't want to wait and then hope that 5 years down the road, but you can still get a huge percentage return, still retire early like you want. The only way to retire early from an actual career that's not owning it, your own business that goes insane and blows up, is to really invest early and invest your money into good investments that will make you money as well over time. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. If you didn't already, hit that like button below, subscribe, turn the notifications on, all that stuff, whatever you want to do. Thank you guys. Feel free to do that and enjoy.